go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nerds with Dice. We apologize for the delay, but we are here. A reminder that our week normally starts on Tuesdays with Riff's Ballad of Fates at 8 p.m. EST. On Wednesdays at 1 p.m. EST is Kingdom Hearts Dreams of Nobody with the Bardic Knock. Thursdays usually is Beyond the Void at 8 p.m. EST. That should be returning next week. And Fridays, of course, is Millennium Nights Turbo Jungle. And I want to throw out that we now have merch. You can find the link in the chat, or if you head over to the Nerds with Dice Twitter, you can find all our links in the bio. So, last week, Cassie, Albin, and Callisto got their first fight against Buster as a team, and
we busted up Buster.
That's true.
Riley and Mocha went off to take care of another problem. And when you got back, you had told that they were on their way back. But that they were fine and everything was good. And I think where we come in is just on the review going about your normal day. As you know, you won, you're told your teammates are good, and you just go about your day as normal. I don't know, it's probably like midday because I think I don't even remember, it's been a while, but I don't remember when we had that other fight, but I think it was pretty early in the day yet when that happened.
So, yeah, I'm not sure the time progression that occurred since.
Yeah, and so I guess immediately after leaving the lair beneath the school, where would everybody go? Who wants to go first?
I mean, Callisto would probably hang out at the Lunar Cafe because she just kind of hangs out there even when she's not working, just because she likes the atmosphere.
Okay. And
she'd work on things on her laptop maybe if she has something to work on. Hi.
Okay. And where does Cassie go?
I think Cassie has like maybe she has class or something. I feel like she's like eternally running late to classes. Not that she runs late to everything, just that I think in general, her class schedule, she's always like, oh yeah, I'll definitely be able to make that class. And then she's always screaming in, 4.5 minutes late right before, being marked officially absent or something.
What kind of classes does Cassie take?
I think, let's see. I think right now she is, oh gosh. I remember I said that she had like switched her major like at least 3 times in as many years. I don't know anything about it, but right now she's convinced that she's going to be like a chem major.
Okay.
She probably
we'll see how
won't
long
be.
that lasts.
Yeah, she probably won't be.
So okay. Yeah, so you're rushing off to a class that you remembered you're supposed to be in. And where does Albin go?
That is an excellent question. What does he do when he's not brooding? Um, good lord, he doesn't live in a cabin. Magic, get your shit. I was trying to be like, what would Ron Swanson do? But he's not Ron Swanson. He has an apartment. He's probably.
He could brood in his apartment.
He could be brooding. I think he's just like cleaning. I think he just like tries to keep his place meticulous. Like one of those places that looks like when you open a magazine, that's what it looks like, and you're like, you could eat off the floor. How long does he spend cleaning? And I think it's just like I think there's some OCD occurring. Like obviously OCD is more than just trying to be, where he adjusts the book just slightly so that it's just the perfect distance away from the others, and he like move the table so that it's just between the tiles on the floor. And I can't. I'm way too messy to even pretend to do this. What do clean people do?
I have no idea.
So
I kind of get the idea. And so I think we get our first sign that something's off when Cassie gets to class.
Ooh.
And
Uh-oh.
I don't think Cassie noticed this, but the viewers would see it because, the camera lingers just a little second on it as Cassie drops like an assignment in like a basket or something. And at first it's clearly like an essay. And then the viewers see it change to a chemistry assignment.
What? Okay. Like, do the words change on the paper, or
yeah, like the paper, like the words change, like it clearly looks like a typed out, essay, paragraphs and everything, and then it changes to like problems and chemistry equations and stuff.
Huh?
And then, because you sit down, and everything else seems normal. You're not, like, all the students seem the same. Like, sometimes, like, when you're in college, sometimes, like, kids are, people don't show up sometimes and stuff, and so you don't really notice anything. There might be a couple of students that you're close to, and they're definitely there, but anybody you don't know really well, you're not sure if they're there or not. So everything looks fine to you.
Okay.
And Callisto, at the cafe, we see kind of sort of the same normal stuff that you would see in a cafe. However, Callisto does have a crush, right?
Yeah, her like best friend / roommate is her crush.
And what's their name?
Yuxi.
So, would Yuxi usually be at the cafe with Callisto?
I mean, it depends on the day. I mean, she works night shifts a lot of the time, so she might be like just waking up around now.
Okay. So you sit down and you're typing on your computer, working on your laptop and stuff, and you look up and Yuxi is sitting in the chair across from you on the table, and there's a second where you don't remember Yuxi being there, and then it just clicks that, oh, well, Yuxi was definitely there. I just must have got caught up in my laptop.
So like there's a moment where I'm like, oh, she appeared out of nowhere. I'm like, no way, she was definitely there before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. I don't like that, but okay.
Did you get like coffee or tea when you got there?
Probably tea.
And Yuxi's definitely drinking something. What do you think Yuxi usually gets?
Shit, I forget. Oh no.
Like it can just be as simple as saying like a coffee or tea. It doesn't need to be like the full order, just an idea of.
Yeah, what does Yuxi drink? I think she drinks iced coffee.
Okay. Like you know usually she'd drink iced coffee, but she's definitely drinking an herbal tea, like a strong herbal tea. You can smell the like floral scents of it.
Rough day at work? Wait, no. Work's later. Rough night?
Um yeah, I guess it was a little rough. I don't know. I didn't sleep all that well either, I guess.
I mean, that's fair. There was like 2 attacks that happened during your normal sleep time.
Yeah.
The Millennium Knights people took care of them, but like there were 2 of them in that span of time, so maybe that's why? Did they like wake you up?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. I think I might have drank a little too much, had a little too much caffeine yesterday or something. I just had trouble. I don't remember them waking me up or anything. I just get general trouble falling asleep and staying asleep.
Well, hope work is decent tonight, so you don't have to be too energy. I'm not wording well.
That's alright. Yeah. Yeah, me too. Do you want something to eat?
Oh, I grabbed like a sandwich on my way in, but thanks.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm actually gonna grab a snack. I'll be right back.
Okay.
And she gets up and walks away, and she does the camera transitions to Albin's apartment, where Albin is cleaning something. Where do you think Albin would be? What do you think Albin would be cleaning right now? What would be important to him?
He's probably mopping at this point. That's one of the last things he'll usually do. So.
As a visible gremlin, that's so foreign to me. like just like regularly mopping as like a
The only time I regularly
coping mechanism
when I
or
worked
something.
at a Starbucks. And that was because I had to.
I'm just saying.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm saying like I'm calling myself out here. Like if my view couldn't already.
Well, your view's not too bad. You've got like a pile of board games, but they seem like they're like Jenga'd in there. Oh, I didn't see the pile on the corner in the floor. I was looking at the bookshelf.
Yeah, no, the bookshelf is actually pretty organized. That's pretty fair.
And so, as Albin mops, like the last finishes up like the last section of the bathroom, and you go to turn to change out the water and mop the kitchen floor, you're hit with like the scent of baking cookies. And when you walk into the kitchen, Melanie's in there baking cookies, and you have that moment just like Kat, or just like Callisto did, where you for a moment you're pretty sure this wasn't happening, that you were alone in your apartment mopping the floor.
Right.
And
So
and
does the
then
mop disappear?
yes. Yeah, and
Okay.
then it snaps and you're not holding the mop, and it's all normal to you. Like this
Right.
isn't weird.
What is this, dream logic? How did she get into your house? I am more concerned about how Melanie got into his house than the fact that the mop disappeared.
And at this point, I'm actually going
God,
to use
logic.
one of my regular turns to reveal badness in the scene. And
Go on.
I was literally thinking that.
back in the real world,
TikTok.
we see a ghostly form of a monster hovering sort of over Charlie, as if it's sat up out of Charlie, and
It's like I remember who Charlie was.
Charlie, no.
yeah, and everybody here is you're all standing exactly where we left you in the last episode, but all the computer equipment is all like sparking and fizzled, and there's just one screen cut into 6 pieces, or 5, B5, miscounted for a second, and each one has, on one you see Cassie, on another you see Albin, and then you see Callisto on another, and the professor and Tex have their own as well.
No. Will Charlie save us, or is this Charlie's fault? I really want Charlie to save us.
I think
We'll
we have to
find
save
out.
ourselves.
I know. I think we have to be our own heroes.
We're in the Matrix. I have never seen any Matrix-related media. I just know that people say that there's a glitch in the Matrix when things happen.
I mean, that's not inaccurate, I guess. I've also never seen any Matrix media.
Oh God.
Have you seen Matrix media, Artemis?
I have seen the first movie.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know a little bit more than we do then.
I've seen. It's been a while, but I've seen the first movie as well. But so I mean, you're standing in your kitchen, and Melanie's there pulling out. What's Albin's favorite kind of cookie?
Is he an oatmeal raisin guy?
Oh,
If it helps, my dad's favorite cookie is Snickerdoodle.
Love snickerdoodles.
God, I'm trying to like not just give him all of my likes. So you know what? Oatmeal raisin. Because I hate that. I wouldn't eat that, but I'm sure Alvin loves that crap.
Yeah, so they're oatmeal raisin cookies that she's pulling out of the oven, and she sets them on top.
Albin probably puts like his hands on like her arms like that. And he's just like, "Hey, those look great."
Oh yeah, I'm trying a new recipe, and I even managed not to burn these ones.
He's like, that's great because brain not working. He probably just solemnly looks over to the trash can, which if it was open would probably have burnt remnants.
Yeah.
And then I feel like he kind of looks at the floor for a second, like, and then it probably does like a little sparkle. He's like, And he just shakes his head and he looks back to the cookies, as if realizing something is wrong here.
Um, trying to think what happens next. Who is? Because I'm blanking. Who is Cassie's connection? Who's Cassie close to?
Like,
He's his brother, right?
who's my like vulnerable person, or
Yeah.
so that would be her younger brother Ryan, who
Okay.
is 16, but like a minor genius, and therefore has skipped multiple grades, and is currently like a freshman in college.
Okay.
Nerd.
But your brother doesn't usually take classes with you, does he?
I feel like not. No, I feel like
Okay.
the 101 classes that he's taking, if he still has any even left to take, like I get the feeling that in many aspects he's like beyond Cassie's ability in various classes.
So, about halfway through class, your brother Ryan reaches over and whispers, "You mixed up the formula."
Oh, right. Duh. Sorry. Thanks for the save.
And the camera pulls out, and your brother's sitting on one side of you, and then on the other side is somebody we don't know, but for narrative purposes, it's Tex.
Okay.
We haven't actually seen him in the real world, but Tex is sitting next to you, wearing like a button-up shirt, and for some reason he has a cowboy hat on in class. He's just sitting there, and he's got like Wrangler jeans on and stuff.
Tex.
Hey, Tex.
I hate it.
Tex needs to learn too, okay?
No, the cowboy hat. Texan.
Yeah, you didn't get that?
I'm assuming that's why the cowboy hat, and I'm disappointed.
Oh, I'm amazed.
I'm like, why?
Look, I'm putting that as 1 point in the himbo category, and therefore Tex is that much better in my eyes.
Oh, man.
Oh no.
Oh, man.
Tex is, I think, far more competent than a himbo would be, but
Yeah.
no normal person wears a full-blown cowboy hat inside.
I wear my cowboy hat inside. Something. Oh, man.
Oh Lord. Yeah. So I.
Pain.
Oh yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks, Ryan. And I think Cassie thinks nothing of the fact right now that she's in like, Chem 204 or whatever with her brother.
And that, Tex is also in Chem 204.
Yeah, and like for what's happening purposes, even though like we haven't seen Tex, for some reason it's Tex that's sitting next to you.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's
Oh my
even
God,
worse.
is this Cassie's like internal image of what Tex looks like? Because that would be even better.
Oh no, because now
Yeah,
really want
kind of.
Actual Tex. It's just what Cassie thinks Tex would look like.
he has like a silver button-up shirt.
Oh my God.
Oh, of course it's silver.
And
It's
his
gotta
like
be
cowboy
silver.
hat's got like silver embroidery on it.
Oh my God.
Like the stitching is in silver.
Oh my God, he's got spurs.
Oh man.
He's got spurs.
Oh,
The
man.
worst. I'm sorry.
No, you're great. It's
Oh
amazing.
God.
Silver and
But yeah,
gold.
so I think at this point, I'm gonna look over and be like, "Yeah, Tex, what did you get for problem number 17?"
Problems. Oh, I got vaguely sounding chemistry thing because I
I was
don't.
gonna say, I can't wait to hear
Brilliant.
what
It could
that
be
up
like-
with.
I got dihydrogen monoxide.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I got deoxyribonucleic acid. Wow. That's the only sciencey thing I know.
God, biochem. But yeah,
I got nitric acid.
Okay, come on. We can't name every chemistry thing we know, or we'll be here all day.
I could tell
I've
chemistry
already
jokes all day if I
exhausted
thought they would get a reaction.
But
Alright, we can continue now. I made my bad joke.
Albin somehow, for some reason, has the enormous urge to roll his eyes and doesn't know why.
Out of nowhere.
Alvin has a headache for a half second.
He has the feeling to rub his temples, and he doesn't understand.
Oh God.
Oh man.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I think. I'm like, okay, cool. And I think at this point I just kind of like lean over to Tex and I'm like, so, do you want to like have a study session or something like later today? I've got some more classes later on, but I should be free probably after like, I don't know, 4. Can meet in the library or something.
Oh yeah, I can do that. That sounds good. That sounds good.
And let's see. Can I like pretty firmly assume out of character that I'm sort of in like a liminal space where I can just talk to my classmates as much as the people next to me as much as I want without it impacting my class?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, time is not moving.
So yeah,
I'm getting vague like Doctor Who episode where you're in the library world vibes.
Yep, I think so. Yeah.
I'm getting library. I have been saved. Okay.
But yeah, so I'm like, so yeah, Ryan, are things working out okay? Your classes aren't treating you, you're keeping up with the work and like you're not having any trouble here on campus yet?
No, everything's
Yet.
everything's fine.
She's 21 speaking to a 16-year-old who's at fucking college. She's well aware of what could go wrong.
Fair enough.
I mean, I haven't been in any problems. It's a little strange being here, and like everything was a lot funner in high school. Everybody here's very, very stressed out.
No boy.
Yeah. Oh boy, you're too young to take to parties. I feel bad. We have our own coping mechanisms, I promise you.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody does. It just y'all seem a little. Everybody seems a little overwhelmed by all of this.
Well, I mean, a lot of folks. There's a lot of pressure, to like figure out what you want to do, and like you kind of have to commit to it. She says, blithely unaware of, the fact that she's like on her 3rd major swap.
I just
You agreed too hard.
A head lash. Head.
Yep.
Continue.
You can do it.
But yeah, you just I think a lot of people like
Did I take my meds today?
don't they like try too hard to have everything figured out too early, the trick is to just be like a normal amount of whelmed.
I love that phrase, a normal amount of whelmed. Good job.
Okay.
More often than not, we're just whelmed in college.
You're right. Yeah. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what do I know? I mean, I've got like a small library of textbooks of different classes because I keep switching. So like, maybe I'm underwhelmed.
Who knows? I'm sure you'll figure out what major you want eventually. I mean,
It's chemistry.
they wouldn't even let me choose a major yet. Lighter class load and stuff until I normalized to being in college now.
Yeah, well, I mean, like with those AP courses and stuff, I think you probably made up some of your early credits anyway, so it's you're not.
I mean, I'm just totally like semi-related interjection. I took AP Calculus in high school and managed to test out, and because of that, I managed to basically take out like all of the math classes that I would have needed to do a comp sci major because I had taken calculus and passed calculus with high enough colors in high school that I didn't have to do any math if I wanted to go comp sci. I had to do other shit. And I didn't do that other shit, which is why I do not have a major. I don't have a degree. But I didn't have to do math because I had already done all of the math.
Sure.
And that's at least in this computer version of Ryan, that's where Ryan is. Right, like Ryan has really limited amount of classes that they let him take in his first semester. And he's feeling a little underwhelmed, right? Like he doesn't have enough to do. He's a little bored by it.
Oh no. Oh god. Sorry. I just as a child who has been in classes in which I did not have enough to do and therefore didn't do nearly enough. That is not a fun thing. Oh, poor,
right.
Oh
poor
god, the simulation
character.
the simulation gave a 16-year-old anxiety. Great.
Actually, I would feel like it's less anxiety and more like gifted kid syndrome, but I mean,
Well, yeah.
same difference, honestly.
Right. And you have some more conversations and stuff, and then class ends. Right, the teacher stands up and says, everybody's done, and then you stand up to leave, and then you find yourself sitting in the library waiting for Tex to come for your study session.
Yeah. I am texting with I'm texting with my friend Emily, who, as I review my notes here, is responsible, also actually a chem major, and apparently my best friend at college. And so I think I'm like
The cat just
texting
shocked
her.
me. That's why I like
Yeah.
the cat.
But yeah, I'm like texting her being like, oh yeah, getting a study sesh with Tex. You better like keep an eye out for me in your classes soon, LOL.
And you get an LOL back, and then we fade back over to Albin's apartment, and there's a knock on your door, like your apartment door.
Albin turns to Melanie, kind of with a confused look on his face. He said, "Were we expecting anyone, babe?"
I don't think so.
Babe?
You know what? I'm trying to figure out where they're at in relationship now, and I was actually going to do something different when Albin was first introduced, but I was like, you know what? Hey.
It's the simulation.
Simulation trying to play it out. So he will kind of.
They're living together in the simulation or something.
We have no idea what's happening in the simulation. He's going to look through the people.
On the other side is let me think of a name real quick. Rich. He's a former teammate of yours from the first team. and he's wearing a blue shirt on the other side. And
Gotcha.
So clearly he was blue.
What would ever make you think that? Come on. He's gonna kind of open the door and he's gonna kind of look through. He's like, "Hey, man, I haven't seen you since forever. What's up?" I can't human today.
Did you forget that we were gonna meet everybody in the park?
Oh, that was today? Okay. He's gonna turn back to Melanie and he's gonna say, "Hey, I gotta go do this thing. I'll be back. Shouldn't take too..." He turns back where he's like, "This isn't gonna take very long, right?"
No.
Okay. Yeah, he's like, "Hey, I'll text you. I gotta go." And so he's gonna put on like some boots and grab like his signature jacket and...
Okay, here's
Is it a different color?
Ooh.
Because what color was he before he was white?
I don't know. Tay, didn't you say that was Tex the leader of the original team?
No, Tex came after that team.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was red. I can see you, Artemis. I can see you.
It could be. That's up to you.
So the question is, if he was previously red, is the jacket that he grabs red? Is he red now?
Well, yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think it's red, and I think that's why he feels so bad about forgetting, because he was probably the one that said, "All right, team, we're meeting up at the park at this time." So
here's a question: when he puts on his boots,
are they
how
also
many
red?
legs do we see? This is a serious question. Yeah. Yeah.
He has both legs.
That's what I thought.
You're right.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
I think for there's a moment where you see the simulation normalize, right, where it goes like it flutters a little bit, and you see both versions, and then his leg he has two.
I'm imagining what it looks like is he has the boot, he's grabbing it, and then it glitches, and then you see the metal, and then as he's pulling the shoe on, it goes onto a normal foot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why must you hurt me like this? I am in pain now.
And then Albert goes...
Because this isn't real. It's gonna end, and he's gonna lose it all again. Why do you do this?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to make this so Alvin-centric. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine.
It's fine.
I'm just gonna cry.
And as you close the door in the camera as you leave, and then you're in the park, surrounded by your old team, and the professor's there, and
Doctor Who library.
And in the background, like fishing in like the pond from the end of the last episode is standing about 6 feet tall, also
God.
wearing a cowboy hat.
My God.
Is a T-Rex fishing in the pond.
Is this what Albin imagines Tex is?
No. This is actually another character, but
okay. It's just
it's not from this game, but he's a fun little character from...
I was gonna say, you gotta add a nod into your other games, otherwise what are you doing? Cool. His name is Rex.
Okay.
His name is actually Tex Rex, but...
Tex Rex, okay. Is Tex Rex eating Chex-Mex? Or Tex-Mex? No, wait. He has to be eating Tex-Mex, right? Or...
He might have
I can hear someone losing it in your background.
That's my fiance watching our previous streams. So, wait, where are you at?
Callisto having to run the coffee shop bar, basically.
That was hell. It gave actual me anxiety.
It did give actual you anxiety. We all watched it happen in real time. Oh man. Yeah. So Albin's probably leading everybody through some kind of training exercises, and I'm sure there's some flipping involved and some kicking and some blocking, and I can't.
Right. And we
Good to know
fi-
that I could beat up Magic and take his lunch money if I
You
leave.
could beat me up and take my lunch money. What now?
I'm not angry, I'm full of shake.
You're not angry, you're full of what?
Shake.
Shake? That's something Callisto said? Okay.
and going back to Callisto in the coffee shop, you're on your computer, Callisto, and out of the corner of your eye in an alley, you straight up see the monster we seen earlier standing in the alley across the street, watching you. He looks almost like he's what he was the monster that was coming out of Charlie earlier, and he looks.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't mean anything to Callisto. It's just a thing.
But you do see him, like he's actually there watching you, and he has like I'm trying to think. He has like vaguely electricity related things attached to him.
Looks like he fell out of a Radio Shack.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad that we all know what that is. I'm glad that none of us are young enough that we don't know what a Radio Shack is. I just want to throw that out there.
Did Radio Shack stop existing?
Oh, a while ago.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, that feels really strange because I feel like I was in a Radio Shack like 2 years ago.
Do either Cassie or Callisto have their jewelry?
I'm assuming Callisto still has her jewelry, unless it's been disappeared.
Well,
Nope,
I thought
it's there.
Strange.
Well, because she
Alright.
was talking to Yuxi about the attacks.
Well, right. I just didn't know if, like, because Albin is clearly still working with his old team, I didn't know if he was red now. Like, and then
I
if
think
that
we're
meant that they didn't
separate. I think
have...
we're
Oh,
separate.
so, no, you're right.
Well,
You're right.
that
That doesn't
or-
matter.
That or we meet and we'll just have a red team up episode for a second before Albin has a breakdown again.
Okay, alright, continue, Teddy. I just wanted to get that question.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
So Callisto's gonna real quick. Oh, yes. Yes, Albin.
Teddy mentioned that there were 6 different screens, so I would assume that meant then that we are kind of in our own universes.
I think they meant
so.
5.
5.
Yeah, 5. I said 6,
5.
but I miscounted
Okay.
because there was
5,
only
but yes, so there's
Tex.
the 3 of us plus Tex and the professor.
Oh, like a smoke
So-
and yep. Okay.
But
Yep.
yeah, but they are separate.
Cool.
So Callisto's gonna real quick save whatever she was working on, put the computer in sleep mode real quick, and look back up at Yuxi, who is, I'm assuming, has magically come back with some form of snack, probably chocolate based, knowing Yuxi. And is like, just real quick, I thought I saw a cat. And she's gonna go outside and go towards the monster thing, because that is a thing, is that she'll be like, I think I see a cat, and then go and try and like see if there's a cat, and then like call the local shelter and be like, hey, there's a cat. This is a thing she is known to do,
Okay.
and it is also a very useful excuse for when you want to run outside into an alleyway real quick.
And you run out there, and the monster goes, "Oh, you weren't supposed to see me." And he turns and he runs down the alley, trying to get away. But it's awkward because
Hey.
he's big and bulky. And...
Yeah, it's also like one of those like chunky like latex suits or whatever with the like Monster Mash stuff on it. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
Hey, we
Callisto's
decided
gonna
our budget,
follow.
so.
Callisto's gonna follow and be like, look, either you could stop running or I could tackle you. Would you prefer to be tackled?
was imagining like he's running away like. Ugh.
He stops, and turns around. Okay, no reason to get violent.
Tackling is not necessarily violent. It's just very aggressive. Anyways, hello. Whatever are you doing?
Just standing in an alley.
Yeah, but clearly you weren't supposed to be because I wasn't supposed to see you. So how about you elaborate on that a little bit, please?
I don't think I want to.
I was gonna say, no.
No, thank you.
I mean, fair. But you understand you're being very sus right now. So I'm gonna have to like call the probably gonna have to call Albin and Cassie and probably the professor and like see what's going on. And she like keeps it. She like pulls her communicator up so she could clearly poke at it while still being able to see the guy in her vision. Be like, I'm just gonna let's go with Cassie first because she's the leader. Boop.
So, Cassie, you're sitting in your library.
Ooh.
And Tex is across from you now, studying, and your communicator beeps. But you don't remember having a communicator.
I check my phone.
Oh man.
Because you think it's a phone message.
So I think what happens is at first you pick up your phone and there's no message, and then again the simulation it's trying to keep up with you and what's going on, and try to keep you kind of from remembering that you have a communicator. So now you have a text message from somebody named Callisto. And
oh yeah, she's that like funny girl from the coffee shop that I've run into before. What does the text message say?
Does it say what I want it to say, or does it say something else?
It says whatever you're saying into your communicator.
Okay, so she sends a message to Cassie, be like, "Hey, you should come meet me in like this alley by the coffee shop. There's a guy here, and since you're the leader, I figured we should decide what to do with them."
Leader of what?
Yeah, I'm gonna message back and be like, are you sure that's not a thing for like the police or the maybe like the Silver Knight?
Okay.
Leader of what? What are you talking about?
Nice.
Is this like a weird request for a date?
Callisto's gonna shoot back.
Oh, man.
Oh, sorry. Wrong number. No. Sorry again. And she's gonna pull up another separate message to Albin and be like, "Yo, Albin. Do you know who I am? Because Cassie doesn't remember being red, and that's kind of a problem because there's a thing in front of me, and she's still staring at the guy, and I'm assuming the guy's just kind of like going, oh no,
Yeah, like,
oh no.
He's
kind of...
super confused right now. And Alvin, your actual communicator beeps, right? Like you have a communicator and stuff, and then
that is extremely strange because all of his teammates and the professor are already at the park.
Yes.
So he's like, he looks at his communicator going off, and then he looks at the professor. He's like, "Hey, professor, who's calling me right now?"
Oh yeah, it's your 8th member, Pink.
I wonder if they already have a pink.
Well, actually, I'm curious if you've thought about this. What other colors are on my team currently, other than blue?
Clearly blue.
Well, no, I meant other than blue. I mean, if you don't know, that's fine. We don't have to make this a big thing right now. But if you have
I hadn't really thought about it too much, but
I mean, I could just do red, blue, yellow.
I
was
just
gonna say-
Yeah,
realized
red,
that
blue,
I
yellow
told
is probably.
in the message I sent to Albin, I mentioned Cassie being red because like that's like it doesn't remember that she's the leader, doesn't remember that she's red. Those two parts are interchangeable
Yes.
basically in my brain. But right now Albin thinks he's red.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Hey,
Is he even gonna pick up?
hey, Professor, come look at this. And he
And
like just
the
kind of,
professor
like,
comes
shows-
over and is like, "What? There shouldn't be. We don't have another. Who?
Yeah,
You're
I
the
don't.
leader. Who else?
Yeah, I
Who's
don't know.
Cassie?
What?
Who's this
All right.
person?
Did you?
Question:
Kat,
Did the communicators say they come from their names or
I-
does it come from their colors?
I think it probably shows up your color.
So it's coming from a pink.
okay.
Yeah.
And did you say where to meet? Like, did you say it was in an alley by the coffee shop? Like,
Probably added on as like, cause there's like this
Okay.
guy in this alley by the coffee shop, and I don't know what to do. I mean, you're like, I'm also, should I mess? I'm gonna mess up. I'll message the professor if you don't respond in like 5 minutes. But I'm getting nervous now, my dude.
I'm nervous now, dude. So Albin, the professor, and is like, hey, I'm gonna grab the team. I mean, I don't know who this is. I didn't know we had a pink, but I just feel like this needs looking into, regardless.
Does she get a "be right there" sort of message?
I think he. Okay, I think he sends like 3 question marks, and then like immediately, and then he talks to the professor, and then like he says, "On my way."
Oh, thank God. Okay.
So he's gonna turn to Rich, and need another name. Name. Not that it's that important, but it's still good.
I would
to
be
know.
deep amused if Steve, the asshole manager, is one of your team.
Well, no, because
Um,
see, clearly it has to be a female blonde. Like it just like we
No,
like
Rachel.
Rich is obviously okay.
Rich and
So
No,
Rachel.
my
Rachel.
brain just
Rich is
automatically
Okay, that- yeah,
shot
that
out the
works.
name Rachel.
I mean that works. That worked.
Right.
It's
So he turns to Rich and Rachel because that's not confusing at all.
Rich and Ratch.
With that many
Rach.
Ratch.
Rich and Rach.
No, see.
R&R. Their ship title is R&R.
It is. Oh my god.
Anyway, he turns to them and he's like, "All right,
It's all
guys,
her comfort fic.
let's go see what's up." And so when he gets to the coffee shop, I feel like they gotta think of their vehicles of choice.
While you think on that, real quick,
Okay.
Callisto, you get a token for using a light turn to demand that someone pay attention to you.
Yes.
Oh man, isn't that great when you can have for just like
I love when that
Yeah.
shit happens by accident.
uh Oh, and for what it's worth, because of my raise, I always start with a token. I haven't described yet what it was. I have it in mind, but I didn't want to bring it up yet because it's not particularly relevant. But I just wanted to.
Yeah, we'll bring it up when once we get out of the
Yeah,
sim
no worries.
kind of thing.
Just wanted to let you know.
Yeah. And so as
Sorry, my brain was like, you must idle animate while you're waiting.
Yeah, what's up with this
to show
monster?
up.
so like
Okay, well, like my
Alvin and
default
his
idle
team show
animation
up.
in real life is just to floss. This is
Yeah, I
what
wanna know
I
if
do
this
when I'm
monster's run
standing
away
in
by
line
now,
at the
or if he's-
grocery store, and it drives my mother insane.
yeah, so
my god.
She's like, "Why are you doing this?" And I'm like, "Because idle animation."
Yeah, it's you just gotta.
I feel
Right,
like
and-
you look like you're roller skating.
and then when Albin's team shows up, what happens is I'm then going to use the monster's heavy turn, which
Uh-oh.
is
Oh,
to alter the world around them.
Oh no.
oh
And
no!
so
Oh no.
in which case, everything changes for everybody.
Okay,
Right.
cool.
Oh god.
Great.
Okay.
Excellent.
So you all end up in like an office building, and you're all in sitting at desks in like sort of menial manager's job or management job, but you're all next to each other, right? So like one desk is next to somewhere we see Rich and Rachel, and we see Ryan's there and Yuxi's there, and for some reason Tex Rex is there, and they're all there, right?
It's like that episode of Supernatural.
So,
Supernatural.
am I now here as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you have gone from your study session to being a manager in like an office company.
Yeah. Oh, and instead of
The question is this strange?
I would assume not.
It's actually you're. It is strange this time. Like you recognize the setting around you, but also it feels really off-putting because you're pretty sure this isn't where you just were.
Yeah, and I'm look. I think I look around and do I see?
I went from standing to sitting
Yeah, that's the most overwhelming thing.
in the blink of an eye. That's weird as shit.
Nah, it's just a Catholic mass.
Oh Lord.
And when Kezi, when you look around, for a moment, you see Tex sitting next to you, and then when you look back around at your desk, Tex isn't there, and instead it's Sydney.
Oh, like holdover from the study session.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, wait, Sid, do we have chem together?
Chem? What are you talking about? You have a call. And like you see like your phone's blinking like there's a call from somebody waiting for you to answer.
This is Zach.
I think when you pick it up, instead of somebody being on the other side, it's just static, and then you feel a little shock.
Okay. Shocking.
I hate that.
What? So I see Albin and Callisto, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Do you know us?
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna be like, here's something. So I'm gonna walk up to Albin with what I think used to be my homework in the previous thing. I'm gonna walk up to Albin and be like, "Hey, here's that report you wanted. Sorry, it's a little bit running a little bit behind. I know I'm still new. Sorry."
And you take this paperwork, and it's when you look at it, it is very clearly chemistry homework, and then it snaps over to like a memo and like 3 pages of like some other kind of random paperwork.
It's like Excel printouts or whatever.
Yeah. And he just kind of like shovels it together, and he just kind of looks at it, and he looks up at you, and he's like, "All right, just next time, I want this on time. All right."
Yeah, like sorry.
Meanwhile, Callisto is just like, what the fuck am I doing in an office?
Actually, I think I'm gonna look over and be like, wait a minute. Callisto works at a coffee shop.
What the fuck am I doing in an office?
But she works here.
And then Albin, I think like one of his nervous things is he'll like mess with his ring with the stone in it, and he'll go to do that. He's like, what? And it's probably just like a regular wedding band or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's very clearly not the stone. And so he's just like, what? Why did I do?
Cassie's gonna look at your bracelet, which I think right now has the red stone in it, right?
Are we still red, or is it...
So what happened right now, I think in this universe, how I'm seeing this in my brain, is he goes to the ring where his stone would usually be, and now it's not a stone; it's like a regular sterling silver wedding band. And he does that, and he's like, oh, "What? Okay, that's not the point. That's not the point." But he goes to do that, and he's like, "Why did I do that? What?"
Yeah.
And he kind of like shakes his hand out a little bit, and he's like, "Weird."
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but I'm gonna be like, wait. But Callisto doesn't work here, because we hang out at her coffee shop. And you're not my boss.
I simultaneously feel like I'm supposed to write a report on the financial situation, and like I need to make a triple mocha with an extra. What?
So
My
as both
brain
of you,
hurts.
both of you say this, the office changes, and Callisto's working in a coffee shop that is a part of the office. Like it's like there's like a Dunkin' Donut kind of shop attached to the office.
Love that.
Yeah. I'm like,
Love
oh,
that.
right, of course. She works in the cafeteria. Duh.
Why is this part of the office? Why is this in the same room as I don't want
I'm gonna walk up to Callisto and be like, hey, can I get a sorry, I'm having a really weird day. Can I get a coffee?
That is... Yes, do you have just like a black medium roast or like any specific... What do you want?
Yeah, can I get that with like some like cream and sugar?
Okay, so medium roast, cream, normal cream, normal sugar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Small,
Did you
medium,
send me like
large.
a weird text earlier? Was that was probably one of your that was probably one of like your employees, like one of your coworkers playing a prank, right? It's like a weird date idea or something.
And I think at this point, Albin's gonna go and knock on the door to Melanie's office, and he's gonna like kind of like do that thing where he kind of leans in as he opens it, and he's gonna be like, "Hey, Melanie," and he like stops for a second, and then he smells oatmeal raisin cookies, and he's like, "What?"
Alvin's having a stroke.
He's like, he kind of like puts his head out the door, and he's like, "Nobody brought cookies today." And then he kind of just like he says, "Sorry, boss. I'll come back later," and he closes the door.
Callisto's just got a massive fucking headache, but she starts making the coffee on autopilot because that's what you do when you work at a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Even when you have a headache, you do this shit. So she starts making this. She's like, I don't know. I don't think I ever. I don't think I have your number. Like, I'm not supposed to trade numbers with customers. Like, the manager will get mad at me if I do that.
I think I take out my phone, and it says like Callisto on the top. But no, like
Does
Callisto,
the
we
text
hang out.
just disappear?
I don't know, but
No,
I
it
point to my
doesn't.
phone. I'm like, no, like we like hang out outside of your work.
And then I think the monster that I still haven't figured out the name of yet. So I came up with this kind of last minute, but he hands Callisto a medium roast coffee with normal cream and no sugar, and then goes, "Oops." And then before your eyes turns into Steve the
Steve the Bastard Man.
Yes.
Steve.
Why did you give me another one? I just finished making hers.
Oops. And they become one coffee.
Teddy, I got you. Channel Chaser.
What?
The name of the monster.
Channel Chaser's a good one. You know what? That is good. That is good. I like it.
Are you
Do
sure
I
you
see-
didn't just steal that from a Supernatural episode?
I don't think so. Did I?
Or was that one called Changing Channels?
I think that
I
one
think
was
that
called
was
Changing
Changing
Channels, but I didn't mean
Supernatural
to.
was on for like 15 seasons. After a certain point, you run into the Simpsons did it problem. Like, you're gonna just you're gonna
Right,
just like
yeah.
do things over. It's
I mean,
okay.
listen, I could have said like that's the trickster, who's actually not the trickster, but that's not important.
Yeah.
That's a spoiler.
That's a
technically. That's a
Hey,
spoiler
kids,
for
it's a
something that's
fun-
been out for like 5-10 years.
Yeah.
this is the fun tool that we'll use for later. That's a Mickey Mouse Clubhouse meme, I think. Like this is a fun tool that we'll find out later.
The mystery mouse tool.
Oh my god.
Do I see? So
Ah.
do I see Channel Chaser like in his like monster
Yes.
form?
Yes.
And then he turns into Steve. And
Yeah.
I'm like, why
I'm
did
gonna
your
look
hair-
over. I'm gonna look over and be like, we gotta do something about that guy.
You're like, Channel
Wait.
Chaser, you're beautiful as you are. You don't need to change for us.
Like, what?
You're beautiful.
There
You're
definitely were
beautiful.
two coffees here.
True.
And then, yeah, now
There were
now
definitely
it's just
two
one
coffees,
coffee.
And you weren't here before. Where did you oh god.
Nope. Callisto, we gotta. There's something about this guy. He's wrong.
I mean, yeah, he left me during rush hour last week. Last week?
God.
Yesterday? 2 days? I don't. What is time?
Just
And-
like wistful. What is...
Yeah. So, as Albin says, you say, "Sorry, boss," and you start to head back to your desk. You hear somebody say, "Albin, honey, you forgot your lunch," and you turn around, and Madame Helios is there.
You're married to Madame Helios? Why does she have to be straight?
No, it's like a
It's
super
okay,
Okay,
universe.
you know what? She
In-
doesn't have to be straight. She could just be into men as well, which is a mistake. but
Or
it's
this is a
fine.
simulation which doesn't really reflect her true sexuality,
Yeah.
Kat. There's that too. It could be that this is what is known as a simulation, which is not real.
Oh god, but does seeing Madame Helios trigger your trauma, my dude?
No, I don't think. Honestly, I doubt it, because it's not.
Not
like,
in
Are
this
you, are you
simulation.
so far in at
I
this
think he's
point?
so far in. What does she look like? I don't think we've gotten a description of her yet.
Yeah, so we haven't. So, Madame Helios looks mostly humanoid, and she sort of like some of the more modern big bads in Power Rangers, where they look more or less human, but she has like some interesting clothing choices that are very they're black and spiny and spiky.
Like, not acceptable for a work environment.
No.
Well, I mean, it's almost like she's just here to drop off lunch for me. But...
Yeah, and she has like a brown bag lunch in one hand, and in the other hand she has like a big scepter, and she has sort of Bride of Frankenstein hair.
Nice.
That's but there's clearly like some like similar spines that are on her clothing holding her hair up.
Nice.
And she probably has like some sort of unusual eye color, and probably like pointed elf like ears.
I'm thinking like the red and oranges of like a setting sun.
I like that.
Like they kind of like will just like it almost look, you know how your eyes look when there's like flames reflecting them in them. It's like that. Or like that's her eyes. So they're like anyway. So he takes the bag and he's just like, thanks, babe. I ran out so quickly. I just didn't even cross my mind. Sorry.
Listo's like in a half like.
Wait, do I
awake
know?
state.
Hold on. Question before I say anything. Do I recognize this is just like, oh, this is my wife, or I'm like, oh my god, this is Madame Helios. I need to know how I respond to this.
I think.
Like,
Hold on.
how
Let me
deep
see.
am I?
Let me see. Here.
'Cause I just need to figure out how deep into the Matrix I am. Because I can change my response based on that.
I think it's up to you. I think I'll leave it up to you. But if you do it, I will give you your light turn for hurting someone who believes in you. If you say that you're like that you recognize this as Madame Helios' big bad.
I don't
Because
have.
right now this person believes that she's his wife?
So I don't have a light turn of hurting someone that believes in you.
Oh,
Is that purple?
That might be purple. Nope, that's not purple either. Huh. Wait.
silver, right?
Yeah. No, I'm white.
Oh, I don't know why I was
Texas
looking
silver.
at silver. You're right. Sorry, I got them
That's okay.
mixed up
They're
for a
very
moment.
similar colors.
Oh, jeez. Hey,
Yeah. Can I? No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say. Well, what did you have in mind? Because that might affect what I do.
Well, so this would be, I think, unrelated to the Madame Helios thing, because I don't
Oh,
think
okay.
Cassie knows. I don't know if Cassie has
or
like a.
Callisto have actually seen Madame Helios?
Well, I thought they were on different floors of the building.
no, you're all on the
What?
same floor.
No.
They're all
Okay,
on the same. We're all on
okay.
the same floor. There's just a coffee shop in
On
your
this higher
office.
floor.
For some
Yeah.
reason.
So he
It's
takes.
very
He
strange.
probably takes the bag. And he's like, "Oh, thanks." He like kind of looks at her, and then just like his feet just start like, they take like a step back, and he like looks down at his feet that like just took like 2 steps back, and he's like, "What?" And then like he kind of like looks. He's like holding the bag, and he like looks at her, and he's like, and then he like looks down at his leg, and he looks up at her again, and like I think he feels like a phantom pain in that leg. And he's like, I'm gonna go.
I gotta get back to my work.
And well, he probably
I'm
goes
gonna-
to the cafeteria where y'all are.
I mean,
Yeah.
unless a
Give you a
cafeteria
token
and much a out
for
of
that.
space cafe.
Are you
shoved
gonna get a
in
token for
your
that?
office.
Okay.
I'm gonna
cool.
I'm gonna say that is
Reliving
definitely
memories of the.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
Yeah. Um.
Okay, so
Would- Hmm.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just. I guess it doesn't matter because I still get a token. It's not important.
Okay. So I'm gonna be like, wait, no. Because I think Cassie's hung up on the fact that she saw like a monster
Yeah.
like right in front of her. She's gonna be
And so
like,
it's
no,
just like,
no, Callisto.
do you want something
Steve's a
too,
monster.
Madam Spiky? Yes, I know Steve's a monster.
No,
You don't
no,
need to tell
like-
me. Madam Spiky lady, would you like something on your way out? I think I have a quota. I don't know if I have a quota. Steve, do I have a quota?
No, that's not Steve.
I think at this
Steve
point
doesn't
you
look like
you
that.
see Alvin walking into the cafeteria with his paper bag.
It's like all on the same floor. It's like an open floor plan.
Oh, whatever.
There's
That's
just a
not important.
cafeteria thing stuck in like
Well, he's
the
sitting
corner of-
down and like unrolling it and probably taking out a saran wrap sandwich and like an apple and maybe
yeah,
like
I'm
a
assuming
water
Madame
bottle.
Helios, at least her scepter is
I don't know.
visible for
Yeah,
what Callisto
yeah.
is, and Callisto's like, I need to sell more coffee. Lady,
Yeah.
you just came in and you
Yeah.
look like you're gonna leave. Have some coffee. My soul has been drained by
No.
food service.
Callisto, this is wrong.
And then he
That's-
finds his feet like walking up and moving over to the coffee shop and he's like, "Wait, I don't need it. You're Cassie, right? And you're
What? Yeah, we work together.
right,
No,
right. No."
we're on a team together.
And then like he does that thing again where he touches his ring
Yeah.
and he's like,
I want to know if
"Do you wear?
responds to Spiky
Don't you
Lady.
usually wear a necklace?
What?
And you have you have a bracelet?
Callisto does have her necklace. It's just underneath her shirt because
Right.
work reasons.
And I think like the more he talks, the more he starts moving his ring around, and he's
Yeah.
like,
And eventually, you notice like it turns into your ring with the Millennium Stone.
"Yeah, well, has this always been?"
I'm gonna be like,
Is Madame Helios still there? Has she
Yeah, is she-
disappeared?
is
I
she
want
back to
solution
Madame-
for the spiky
Spiky
lady. Do you
Pants?
want some coffee?
Oh yeah, Madame Helios disappeared.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
Where'd she go?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, wait, no. Callisto messaged me about a weird guy in an alley.
Wait, are
But I
you?
was in the library, but then I was here.
Wait, are you pink?
I like pink.
No, you. And then he
No.
kind of looks at his other wrist where his communicator would be, and he's like,
Oh my head.
he's like kind of tapping at like where it would be, like trying to like.
Yeah.
And he's like, guy in the alley did. And then he like kind of feels for where his jacket should be, but instead it's like a suit coat, probably
Yeah.
in a tunnel. He's like, he looks and he's like, this isn't red.
So
Why
I
is it
have
different?"
so I have that coffee, right? From before.
Mhm,
Is Steve still standing there just looking very
Oh my
nervous?
god, I know what you're gonna
Yeah,
do.
yeah. No, Steve is looking very nervous right now.
I know what you're gonna
I
do.
just turned to Steve. I turned to Steve and I'm like, if I'm wrong, I'm really sorry. And then I just like
Yes!
smashed the coffee in his face.
Ah! Actually,
I'm gonna give
paying
you
for
a
it, that
light
doesn't
token.
matter.
I think it's fair to say that's letting your temper cloud your judgment because you
Yeah.
have no real true idea what's going on.
No, not even a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think that's fair
Okay.
there.
I've just
And then
realized that, like, I kind of exhausted Callisto after she failed to get Albin to the thing in time. She's
Oh.
just been exhausted the rest of the she's just
You're like, I don't even know why I'm so tired, but here I am.
I don't even know why. I've got a
Um,
migraine and I don't know why and everything sucks.
Okay, I want to know what happens to Steve.
Yes.
so
Does
yeah,
the
he
coffee
stumbles
taste
back and then like into the table and then changes back into channel chaser and just oh no, I think I've been phoned out. And then for some
Phoned
reason
out? Oh my god.
and then Tex is there. Sydney's not, but Tex is right next to you. And goes, wait, what is happening?
You're
I-
not Steve?
Callisto, I told you that. Look, I know we haven't been at this for very long, but like you gotta listen to me.
And Callisto like kind of blinks Chaser says the person who didn't listen to me when I said there was a creepy man in an alleyway.
Let me look at my.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
But now that
I'm
now there's
turn-
clearly a monster in
Okay,
the cafeteria.
So Albin's gonna do. He's gonna do that thing where he's gonna run, and he's gonna do that thing where he puts his hand on the counter. He's gonna leap over it and like slam a foot into Channel Chaser's chest, and that's gonna be my regular turn of display instinctual fighting technique. And then I think he's gonna grab Callisto and Cassie and pull them like underneath like the counter, and that's gonna be react by taking temporary cover. And then he kicks Channel Chaser and he grabs him and he's like, I am so sorry. I'm just a mild-mannered manager. I don't know. I just like suplex the shit out of that guy.
And all this
Did you say
happens.
you suplexed him?
Okay, that's not whatever. I can't word.
No, honestly, that's if I were to like I normally I work in an office in real life, and if I can definitely imagine one of my managers just be like kicking somebody, like, you know, in this sort of scenario. I think did I just suplex that guy is pretty like
Yeah.
mild-mannered middle management type.
That's me
reaction.
not remembering how things work, which is weird considering how many shows I watch where people are fighting. You think I know, but anyway, he's just like, did I just suplex that thing? What the fuck?
No, Albin, that was a flying kick. You showed us that before.
And then there's like a memory of him like standing in the clearing in the field, and he's just like there's like a wooden table where he like leaps over and like you can't see my foot. I don't know why I'm trying to show you my foot when you clearly can't see my foot. And he's like, I did show you that.
Yeah, because you're the veteran.
I don't get discounts at restaurants.
What? No. No, you're not old enough for that.
But you're the leader. I was trying to show you that because of Buster Baseball.
No. It was training before the. Wait a minute, and I like stick my head up over the counter. What is Channel Chaser doing?
Yeah, what is it doing? Well, we're just kind of reminiscing.
Channel Chaser, Channel Chaser has several remotes like in a bandolier, and he's he's hitting buttons, going, "Well, which remote was it? Which one?" And he's like taking them off his hitting buttons, panicking, going, "Oh no, oh no," and you look at him, and Tex Rex walks up to you and tips his hat and says, "Sorry about this, partner. It took me a little bit to remember, but I'm supposed to give you these." And he holds out 5 amulets in front of you, like right to you.
What do they look like? Are they like?
They're on like a simple cord, but they kind of look almost like a ruby or something, and they do the little glint, like the magical glint.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I know what's happening here. Alvin's just like, okay, and he just kind of like slides it over his neck and let's go.
You know, I'm not into crystals, but if it'll make my headache go away.
Yeah, and you put them on, and Tex grabs one, and then the professor also grabs one. And
where'd she come from?
Oh, she was there all along. Come on, this place is good enough.
The point is everybody gets one, right? And then the simulation kind of falls down, and you're in sort of that blank computer space that TV shows use when like the simulation falls, and
like that big white space,
right? And you're just there, just the 5 of you, and and Channel Chaser, Tex Rex isn't there anymore, but you remember everything, and that is where we're gonna go to break.
Okay, good. Oh boy, alrighty.
All right, we'll be right back. Enjoy, get up, stretch, and we'll see you in a moment. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Nerds with Dice. They just discovered that they are in a simulation, and we're
in the
giving
Matrix.
we're given
We're in the tricks, mate.
possibly magical amulets by a dinosaur wearing a cowboy hat, and they're still seemingly inside it, but now they know who they are, and they're facing down a monster known as Channelcaster, who is made up of various electronics, and you're almost on like a round platform that sort of vaguely looks like a battle arena kind of thing.
Okay.
Can I just like charge at this thing now that I totally remember who I am?
Yeah.
Okay. So my question is this heading into danger without my squad, or is it taking action, leaving myself vulnerable?
That's probably taking action because we're still here.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
But okay, cool.
I mean, Callisto's still recovering from a migraine,
Well, right,
so she's
but...
like half here.
I mean, okay, I just wanted to make sure that I was in fact doing my regular turn and not my light turn.
Yep. I think that's
yeah. But I think I think I just like run up and I just try to like tackle this thing.
And then I threw it on the ground.
and I think and I'm trying to remember to think of some of these moves more as less as like I throw one punch and then we roll dice to see if that punch lands.
I run at him, I tackle him, I try to like take him
which
to the ground.
Which is a hard habit to break in both this
sure.
game and masks and stuff, but
masks is
you run up and you try to tackle him, and then you trade blows. You grab him around the leg and try to get him to the ground, and he tries to wrestle you off and pushes you back. And
the main thing is that I'm trying to make sure that he doesn't have enough time to like reestablish a simulation.
Right.
Oh, so I'm trying to pin him, so like you tackle into like a pin of some sort.
Yeah, well, so like he's got like the bandoliers of like remotes.
Maybe you like try to rip that off, maybe, or something.
I'm just trying to like occupy his hands. Like if he reaches for one, I like do the sentai punch, and there's sparks, even though it makes no sense. But yeah, I get into a tussle with him, I think, and I'm basically just like I'm like, we can't let him do whatever that was again.
We are no longer in an office building.
Callisto, I need you to wake up. Come on.
I am awake. I know that I am awake because I am in pain.
So,
chronic pain mood.
Here, I do have one question for Albin. How Albin feeling? You remember everything now. We haven't really talked about it, but we know Albin was injured in a final battle with Madame Helios, but we don't really know what happened to the rest of his team, Rich and Rachel.
So I think after the fight and the injury, I think he really kind of became really closed off. He put up like a wall. I mean, he was crushed. I mean, literally and figuratively. I mean, he was supposed to lead this team, and not only did he get himself hurt and put his team in danger, he lost a part of himself, literally. He lost his leg. And I think the professor did everything she could to just kind of keep them together, try and console Albin, but I think really he was just lost at that point. And so I think that they went to go, Rich and Rachel went on to do other things, and so I mean, Albin, in the first simulation, he got a glimpse at how things would be if, not necessarily if he defeated Madame Helios, but if things had gone differently. And so now he's just wondering, like, it's that classic situation you get in tropes where there's simulations of, like, would I have been better off? Like, do I stay in the simulation, or do I go back to real life where it's hard and it's difficult, and like
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the fact that the last RPG I was in, the Digimon one, my character basically ended up living in the simulation world at the end of it.
but yeah, so like he's thinking now, he's thinking about Melanie making the cookies, he's thinking about, as kind of creepy as it was, Madame Helios bringing him lunch at a middle manager office job, and he's just like, that could be me. Like, I don't have to worry. Like, this team, Cassie, Callisto, Riley, they're an effective team. Do they even need me anymore? Does the professor need me anymore? And Mocha, yes. So yeah, he's just very confused. He reacted on instinct in the coffee shop against Channel Chaser, but right now he's just very conflicted. So that was very long-winded, but that's
oh, you good. You good.
That's where I'm at.
So Cassie is just like tackling this thing on her own, like getting into fisticuffs, and she's like, "I need my team," and then one of them is like, "I've got a headache," and the other one's like, having CPTSD, symptoms again.
Maybe.
Okay. So CPTSD?
CPTSD, complex PTSD.
Oh,
okay.
It's
like PTSD, but trickier.
Okay, yeah, trickier because I was fighting an alien warlord and
So I think I'm going to over my shoulder. Yeah, I think over my shoulder I'm going to be like, Professor, is there anything we can do to get out of here?
So here's the thing. Like, as you say this, and as like your other teammates are struggling, the professor and Tex are actually on their way over to help you.
Mm-hmm.
Because in this simulation, right, like the professor's injuries that prevent her from taking up the mantle in the real world don't exist in the simulation. And so she's running over to help you, and Tex is jumping in as well. And as they run over to help you, the professor says, "I think we got to defeat Channelcaster. I think he's what's holding us here."
Got it. Would like to. Can I spend a token to transform when danger appears?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I, put like I link my bracelet and my. It's like the morpher and the communicator are kind of the same thing for us, right? That's kind of how we've been. Yeah. So I link those together and yell Millennium Knights Embrace the Dawn. And we get like I think we get an abbreviated morph sequence where we just kind of get the like red light and all of a sudden I'm in my suit. But I would like to start punching this guy in earnest.
In earnest.
Okay.
So I will display impressive fighting technique after transforming, and so I'll like be kind of occupying this guy a bit more. I'll be like, Tex and Professor, if you want to help out anytime, like.
Yeah, and they're both going to transform. So, and the professor transforms into a gold knight.
Ooh.
And both their uniforms look different than yours because they're from different generations.
Mm-hmm.
And so they help. And I think like based on like your fighting skill is sort of what it looks like, and you have the monster outnumbered, and I think Tex eventually gets the bandolier of remotes off of it.
Cool. So I've made multiple regular turns. I think that means, Teddy, that you get to mess with us, right?
Yes. Oh, and you'll have an extra token because you are now facing danger. And you just spent yours to transform.
Oh, right. Follow the principal colors present, gain a token. Right.
And, so, and I think this is the point where I'm going to use the monsters, I'm going to use the monster's heavy turn, and, it can't really reshape the world like it was before, but I think what it does is it tries to manifest itself help, and I think that takes the form of Rich and Rachel appearing in the simulation. But of course, that like their eyes don't look normal, so we know that they're not.
Yeah, they're evil.
Right.
Good stuff.
Single manly tear.
A single man tear.
That was perfectly in sync on my end, which means I was probably late on yours. But that's
you were, but it's fine. Oh, that's what it's about, man. That's what it's about. Should not be laughing about this. This is extremely serious.
Yeah. So I'm going to. Okay. Can I leave like the immediate fight to gold and silver, so I can try to encourage my my disoriented friends?
Absolutely.
Okay. So yeah, I think I'm gonna see that Callisto and Albin are having
Callisto is like sat down cross-legged on the floor with like her arms on her knees and her head in her hands, and just like, I need a nap.
I love how this is the second fight. I think we're.
Yeah, Callisto's just like, no, I'm done.
Well, I think the first one she went loopy and was being carried around by Charlie.
Yeah.
So she did do shit before, but she's just so tired out, like, emotionally, from like all of the switching.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
so
having
I think
to briefly question her place in life.
I'm gonna so I think I see both of them, and Callisto seems drained but not she seems drained but not like in crisis.
Yeah,
right?
She's not like in crisis. She just wants like a nap.
A nap and a juice box.
More like a nap and a hot chocolate, but close enough.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna run over to Albin.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to find a thing. Okay. He's just kind of like just standing there, just like with his head in his hands, and he's just kind of like.
Yeah, I'm going to put a hand on his shoulder.
And then, like, I think immediately he grabs the hand, just like shoves it behind your back, and he's just like,
"Yeah,
stay back."
Yeah, like, Albin, I need you to breathe, buddy.
He like drops the arm, and he's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
It's you had a rough. I from what I saw, you've had a rough half hour. Stuff has been changing real fast.
Yeah. Yeah, those are my. That's my old team. And he like points to Rachel and Rich.
Yeah.
might start calling him Rick because that's more helpful.
So
It'd still be R&R, so I'm still happy.
Okay.
I'm gonna be like, so I think a chunk of this is like kind of made up, right? Like we can kind of do what we want in here, right? So do you want to swap?
What?
I don't know. I just feel like maybe you'd get some catharsis out of fighting them as the old you.
No, Cassie, you need to. This is you. I can't. I'm moving on. You know, I want to leave the past in the past. Like I don't want to go back to that anymore. I mean, if defeating these weird evil versions of my old teammates helps anything, it's to help me move on. I think reverting back would just.
So time to move on to a new tomorrow.
That's an interesting way to put it, but I'm not going to say no. I can word, I promise, our lovely listeners. And I think he's going to. I'm just thinking of the scene from Dino Thunder where he has this communicator and he like shakes his wrist and like it turns into the Morpher. He's like, "All right, I'm good to go." And we get the scene where he's like, Millennium Knights embrace the dawn, and so we get another shortened sequence of him, and he kind of like he looks over to Cassie and he's like, what was it? Moving into a new tomorrow? Is that what she said?
Yeah, we're moving towards a new tomorrow.
And he says, speaking of moving towards a new tomorrow, and he kind of like grips his hands in the fist and he says, and he shouts like Super Rhino mode, and like he gets like
Nice.
like armored plates start
That's
appearing on his
awesome.
arm and his chest, and like a bunch more spikes kind of pop out, and he's
That's
like,
rad.
I guess you can teach an old dog new tricks. And he kind of holds his hand out and grips the halberd as he appears, and like he turns to her and he's like, "You ready?"
I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna try to get Callisto on her feet, but you go ahead. I think the professor and Tex need your help.
All right, so I think he kind of does like this isn't a rhino, but he's gonna do that thing where he just like runs his foot along the ground like a bull about to charge,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
he just like runs, and he's just like
Spiky and chunky and oh man, that's
spiky.
sorry, I'm just living my
No, me too.
Like there's a new Power Rangers series coming out tomorrow, and I've been
Yeah,
finding like
okay,
I've been finding every small scrap of like
Well, the problem
preview
is-
content.
The problem is I need to finish Beast Morphers because I didn't.
I need to finish it as well.
Netflix.
I heard it's not that great, but I don't know.
Anyway, we can
Anyway,
nerd out
so
over it later.
He's squaring off against foe Rachel and Rich right now, and I think like they probably exhibit similar move styles to maybe how they used to be. I don't know. So like he knows exactly.
OG R&R.
Sure. Like
Ogre.
ogre.
Oh, girl.
Ogre.
I apologize for nothing.
And so yeah, he's just squaring off against them right now, trying to keep them busy. Assuming that Tex and the professor were dealing with Channel Chaser.
Oh yeah. They're both experienced knights, and I think for
All right,
for what's
so-
happening, they can definitely handle that.
Yeah, we have the truly efficient setup of 2 versus 1 and 1 versus 2.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's perfectly natural.
Look, you got a power up. You're basically like 3 people now.
I am like 3 people. It's fine. Now you're probably asking, Magic, did you take Super Rhino mode from Dino Thunder with Connor's Super Dino mode? The answer is yes, because Rhino and Dino sound extremely similar. Except, and I
Wonderful.
also do
That's
get a
great.
lot more spikes, just like they do, because it comes off their suit. But yeah.
Spiky boy.
So yes, spiky.
No wonder
boy.
you were married to Spiky Girl.
I think if Alvin had his choice, he would have been preferred to be with Melanie making cookies in his apartment. But
Yeah.
sticks and stones.
Spikes and cookies.
Spikes.
That's definitely some kind
One
of
is a
like, indie
rod and one
RPG.
is vaguely circular, so it kind of fits.
Oh boy.
So I'm gonna
Lots of cylinders. You're gonna do things.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
run over to Callisto.
Okay.
I'm going to. So I have a token left. Yeah. So I'm going to in my helmet or something contact the professor who's also fighting. I'm gonna be like, Callisto seems really down, like really tired. Is there anything I can do to like perk her up?
Nap.
She need like a is it like a car battery or something? She needs a jump start.
Well, I'm pretty sure she's human, and even in here, but
What?
she might just need a pep talk.
No, she needs a nap or like supercharged tea. But I appreciate the nope.
I'm gonna be like unfortunately I don't work where Callisto does, so that won't work. Yeah,
I mean,
I'm gonna be like,
She's like quietly singing to herself, I need a nap.
if you think you can manipulate, like, if you spend a token, you can probably manipulate this simulation.
Okay.
Oh.
Like, needed as a custom move, you can, for a
Okay.
token, you can manipulate this simulation.
Okay. I'm going to let's see. Yeah, I'm going to I guess just impose my will on the simulation. Since I've realized that like so much of it was kind of reactionary to what we were thinking and like how we were, reacting to it. So I'm gonna be like, oh, supercharged tea, no problem. And I just kind of like reach and like out of frame, and then like my hand returns and like I have like a very large, probably like a comically large I don't know, what is Callisto like, iced tea or normal tea?
Hot tea.
Okay, so I have like a comically large mug of tea.
And the
And
mug,
I just like sit it down in front of her.
the mug, of course, says power up on it.
Yeah.
Nice. Or like +1.
Yeah, something like that.
It's got like a lightning bolt on it. And I'm like, look, you nap time can wait till later. I kind of need you to be a hero right now.
And she just like starts drinking. She just starts drinking the tea. It's like, fine. I'll
Wow,
get
shit,
there.
sounds like it's so much better.
Well, she hadn't had any tea when she went.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, as an extension of this, and let me know if it's like too much to ask for. But can I be like, that sure was some good tea, right? 5 seconds after she starts drinking it, and it's like gone. Is that okay? Yeah. With the intent that it's gone as if she had drank the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, getting up. Getting up. She just like does like a little bit of like stretching as she's getting up, and she's like, okay. I gotta do. Oh, I gotta. You guys are. I gotta do the thing with the thing and the thing. And she pulls her necklace out and she does the what was it?
Millennium Knights Embrace the Dawn.
That.
Yeah.
Mm,
That thing. I'm gonna say that thing
Embrace
right
the
now.
dawn and all that. And yeah.
Oh boy.
Is that close enough?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah,
said all the
you
words.
transform.
I mean, she didn't say the words Millennium Knights, but she did say embrace the dawn or
Yeah.
like whatever.
Yeah,
If I can fill in work.
It works.
as far as I can tell, that's basically just the catchphrase. I don't know if they actually have to say anything.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Wait, so we've never. Yeah, it's not important.
Yeah, so like you transform, so you're all there, and I think with time, you can overtake Channelcaster, and Albin, with I'm sure some help, manages to defeat his old teammates, and they turn into broken code and then fizzle away.
I think we maybe at one point get one of those scenes where Cassie like grabs one of them like under the arms or something,
Oh yeah.
So you get like a kind of an image of like Red holding one of them back, so that way White can like take them out.
Perfect.
Oh, like so you got them. You got like your arms underneath like their shoulders or something. Just like with the thing. So I like that.
I think now, I mean, you're all suited up, so if you want, I think now would be a good idea, a good time to do your ultimate attack.
Yeah.
Ew.
And I think just because it's cool for this one, the professor.
Oh, do you get all 5?
The professor and everybody's there as well. And like as your blaster comes together and starts creating the orb, like a memory of Rich and Rachel with their hands on Albin's shoulder appear, and their like code energy is added into the attack.
Oh my god, I'm crying. Oh my
and it
god.
blasts
My soul.
it blasts Channelcaster out of the simulation, and it all falls around, and you all wake up.
Oh my god, you guys! Oh my god.
My chest hurts.
Oh, that's so good.
I'm pretty sure it's emotion and not anything else.
And you wake up. You wake up in your lab, with at least one of the computers, or the computer screen that had like all the images of everybody like going about stuff is now back to Tex's voice pattern, and the professor and you're all there, and you're fine, and you see the monster kind of like get thrown out of Charlie's body as well, like in the real world, and then of course on the screen, on one of the screens, there's like, as the screen like flickers, there's a warning, because of course now the monster's growing in the city.
What? I'm so shocked, Teddy. I don't even. What do we do about this? God, this has never happened before.
I don't have any tokens to summon my mech.
Oh no mech for you.
No, I think
Can Callisto turn and rant at Cassie about how bullshit this is, and she just wants a fucking nap? And I'm so tired, Cassie. I don't wanna. I got a headache, and like, I don't wanna. And I had to deal with Steve again, even though it wasn't really Steve, and like, it
I
was
did
kind
throw
of
coffee in
funny.
his face, though.
That was funny. That was funny.
Yeah.
Look, I'm so tired, Cassie. I don't wanna do.
Callisto, it's. Look, if we don't help, there's gonna be a lot of people who get really hurt.
I know.
Like, it's. I know that it can be like hard. Like this, we've had a really rough day, and this has still been a lot for us to like
It's still
take
the
in.
same day.
Yeah, but like, we're the Millennium Knights. Like, who else but us is gonna like handle this?
One moment, Mom.
Mom,
Mother?
this monster.
What's on the plate on the island?
Okay. I just saw my little shit get up on the island and start licking a plate, and then apparently it's cat safe. So.
Okay. Yeah, I know that fear. But yeah, so like we're the only ones who can. And you know, the blue and yellow knights, they're not here anymore. Silver and gold are out of commission.
Yeah, I know. It just sucks.
Can I?
Hello, I'm confiding in you, or at least I'm attempting to.
So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So first, I think I'm gonna definitely count that as the Reds' special turn as well, and taking on
cool.
someone's problem. And yeah, I think that also does count as the Pinks confide in someone.
So you get 2 tokens. Congrats.
Or
do I get the token?
You get a token
Oh.
because I'm taking on solving your problem.
Well, I confide in you, so you get a token anyway.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yay.
I'm gonna be like, after this, if you need a break, like I'll pull double duty or whatever. Alvin got that sweet power up. Like we got this.
Okay.
I just need one more push from you. All right.
Okie dokie.
I summon my robot.
Robot.
Right. What a great way to summon a robot. Just yelling, robot! Until we appear.
Okay. And then we all spend a token to summon your mechs, and we get the cool, animation of the mechs coming in. And, yeah, you were all in the in the lab, right? And then like you summon your mechs, and then we cut to everybody on their vehicle, and then the mech like running up to it, and they merge, and now you're piloting your mech into battle, a giant channel caster.
Oh.
Let's see. So, do we have? I can't remember. Do our mechs have like, do they have like? Do they all have humanoid modes, or is it they only have a humanoid mode when they all combine? What's the?
I believe it's when they all combine in the ultimate form, then they have.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're all suited up in your mech, so whenever you want, you can call your ultimate form.
Okay. So I think we probably just do that immediately, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
he's big,
Yeah,
and we know that if nothing else, like some of us are kind of running on like borrowed time for
We
for
are
like their
running
energy
on
levels.
fumes.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think, and we're gonna see the light ultimate mode, this time. So again, and so you're in a slightly, we haven't actually seen the normal version, but you're in the smaller, faster, lighter version.
But luckily, Channelcaster is a total wuss.
Yeah,
Channelcaster's
Channelcaster
like,
is not a
"Please,
fighter.
please don't
He
tackle
is
me."
he is much more of a
Much
mess
more
with
of a
you.
manipulator.
Yes.
Yep.
He mess with your head.
So yeah, we get the like I think please correct me if I'm just projecting, but I think we agreed that it was the body was like mostly rhino on 2 feet. Or like
Yeah.
rhino, kind of bipedal mode, and then like the arms and shoulders kind of
For the
became
cats.
for the cats.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And like
Yeah,
a
that's
human head came out of the rhino or something.
Yeah, I remember I drew a very shitty drawing of it, just as I was like thinking of it.
Come on, share it.
I will share it in the Discord chat later, because I'm not a robot artist, and this was
You're not a
drawn on
robot
the
artist?
back of.
That's fair.
This was drawn on the back of, I think, like a bill or something. Like, it was just sketched on what I had available. But yes, I will show the class later. But yeah, so we combine into that, and the final attack was like a rhino charge or something, right? Or was it a kick?
That the super ultimate final attack is a kick. Of
Yeah.
all the big
Yeah.
people.
What
All
did we
of them.
do last game? Or last episode?
Well, so we have
triple
like
slash or something. With
Oh,
slash.
right,
yeah,
we had the
yeah,
two swords.
Yeah, it was a cross,
Yeah.
because it was the
Because we cut the
Yeah.
guy right down the middle and also in half at like the
yeah, because it was a
waist.
baseball bat,
Yeah.
and so yeah.
It was a baseball bat.
Yeah.
It's a baseball.
Yeah, so I think we get like kind of a relatively short fight sequence where like the mechs show up, they combine, they kind of punch each other for a tiny bit. Maybe he like
Which I did?
we've got like the like bandolier of things. Maybe those are like grenades now that he's big.
Yeah,
You
they
know.
probably are.
Interesting.
For this, and
Yeah.
he
Remote control bombs.
he also
Hey.
shows off. He throws off little like sparks of electricity, as well. That like he
Naughty.
tries to use against you. And yeah, you trade blows, but he's not a fighter, and so it's pretty easy for you to eventually get the upper hand, and you do your cross slash, and you do it, and you somehow go through him, and he stumbles on the other side and explodes, and you get to do a cool pose.
I think he like, they're just like I don't remember which one's from where it has two swords, but they're like.
And yeah, so like
I would be
Channelcaster
much
gets
more
defeated.
enthusiastic about this if I were not still in pain, which makes me think it's less emotion and more something else is wrong with me right now. But
Oh, no.
that's how life
that's-
be.
Uh-oh.
Just like right here, just right on the breastbone.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It's fine. It happens. I mean, it probably shouldn't, but it does. So
Yeah.
This is unfortunate normal, but
Yeah.
Anyways, that's why I'm low energy. It's not that this is not exciting. It's that I am in pain. Big yawn.
I know.
Sorry, that's
I'm so
my
sorry.
default response to large yawns because I live with 5 cats.
I'm sorry, my yawn from doing absolutely nothing today because it's Friday.
My brain saw you yawn and was like, "That's a big yawn," and I'm like, "That is a human being."
It's like when somebody does a stretch and you have to be like, ooh, like you have to prevent yourself from being like, ooh, good stretch.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, big stretch. I'm just like, God, stop it.
Where are you?
Or if you're a
Come here.
weirdo like me, you don't stop yourself and you just treat your friends like animals sometimes.
Come on up, Fluffy. Come say hi.
Okay, so let's see. So I think afterwards can we like regroup at the like base again?
Yeah, if that's what you want to do.
Is Charlie okay? The thing was like took a ride in on Charlie, right?
Yeah, and I think when you get there, the professor's actually booting Charlie up.
Charlie.
But yeah, I'm going to look over at Albin, and if I've been saying that, it's Albin, isn't it? I've been saying Albin.
I can't really tell the difference through my headphones that much,
Okay.
but I think you're all right.
Is it like Albin, like Weird Al, or is it Albin, like all things?
Albin.
Yeah, like Weird Al.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Weird Al, sure. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
My brain was like the immediate. That's what. Because
like,
he was one of the two people who sang the "I Need a Nap" song that was in my head when I was peeing. I put it in the Twitch chat. This is the fun part.
I see. Thank you.
But yeah, so I'm gonna turn it to Albin and be like, hey, are you okay? Like, are you good? Or like, will you be okay? Like, it's been rough.
I mean, I'll figure it out in the end. You know, that sucked.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, seeing Madame Helios again that close was not great.
Yeah, she brought you a sandwich. That was weird.
Yeah, she did.
It was
Yeah.
in a brown paper bag like my mom used to give me for school lunches. Like 15 years ago. I don't know if they still did that.
I had a when I was a kid, I had like a Super Plushy Pals like hard lunch box, you know.
Okay.
I got a lunchbox eventually, but like for a while I didn't have one.
Yeah, yeah.
Are we talking? Is this out of character? Or is this in?
No, this is in character.
Okay.
For me, yes.
Okay, just making sure.
This is in character for Cassie. Artemis had not a made-up TV show hard lunchbox.
Super Plushy Pals sounds like a really fun
That was.
I remember in real life having to stuff my lunchbox into my backpack to get it around all my like novel books, not like school books, but novels and notebooks in a binder.
Mm-hmm.
And just worrying that everything was gonna get squished. Anyway, good times.
I had to pack my drink separately because water bottle. If it's a cold water bottle plus paper bag equals your lunches on the pavement.
So I used to have a backpack that had a separate compartment entirely for my lunchbox. That was nice. Anyway. Alvin says, look, I felt him there with me in that fight at the end. R&R.
Yeah.
I miss them a lot. I might reach out.
Well, if you if there's anything I can do, you let me know, all right? We're a team.
Yeah, like that.
Do a little shimmy.
Oh, I am definitely pain high right
now. How close are we to the end? Because I have a thing I want to do before we finish.
I mean, we're in. Do whatever and stuff you want to do.
So I think Alvin at some point after this will get his phone out and he'll just text. Well, so he'll do two things. Yes. So, one, he will text the group chat with him, Rachel, and Rich, and just say, we should get together at some point and talk. And then he'll send a separate text message to the Melanie that says, "Hey, would you like to come over at some point?" And like, I don't know, fade out from the... Stop it! I see you, Artemis. It's on the hour, so I was thinking you just fade away from like him texting those. No, he does not mention cookies yet. Gotta reel him in.
Yeah, you gotta build up to cookies.
You've gotta be like, do you want to come over and like do something and like the something?
He's not like that.
He just wants her to come over and just when she shows up and is like, "What now?" He just has nothing planned.
No, he'll have something planned, but he barely was even able to ask someone to come visit his home because he's probably the person to where it's been literal years since he's had another living human being in his space besides like delivery people.
Yeah.
So like this is a big step for him. Anyway, so that's it for me.
Does anyone else have any like ending notes, any vignettes they want to do at the end?
I think I'm good. I think
I am good now.
Yeah, I think a lot of this was Cassie just trying to make sure that like her teammates are good. And she's
like
she'll make good on that like promise to Callisto. Like if something else happens kind of quote unquote off screen, like that's another like emergency, Cassie is absolutely like burning the candle at both ends, trying to make sure that Callisto doesn't have to answer those calls.
And Charlie still needs some work to like be able to talk and respond and stuff, but he's more or less awake. But he is sort of a standard robot right now.
Charlie! Callisto's like, "Charlie, you're awake." And she just kind of like hugs the robot.
Charlie.
Okay.
And I think so I love this as an order of offense, as like these things are happening and Callisto's like hugging Charlie, and then we see the text message and it fades out on that last text message.
Yeah,
from Melanie
that's what I was hoping.
To space, where we see Madame Helios, like looking out vaguely onto Earth and yelling for Katos to, and he comes into the room and what's wrong, Madame Helios? And she takes her scepter and she points it at him and says, "What are these monsters? Did my father bother sending us anything good?" And that's where we end.
Nice.
I cannot see that scene in my head without hearing Rita Repulsi. "Oh, I have a headache."
My brain was like half expecting her to get mad at Channel Changer and be like, Channel Changer like pulled her in, sort of, because that was the actual Madame Helios who was bringing him a lunch, and she was mad that she was pulled in and then shamed.
Married to. I think at some point, I don't remember if I think she actually said like, "I need a Tylenol" or something at some point, like in the show.
In the show,
I don't remember for sure. But I think she specifically mentioned a over-the-counter brand pain reliever.
Probably.
And I just found that hilarious. So, all right, that's it for me. Brain shutting down.
All right.
Brain has been shut down for the past 20 minutes.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, that is going to be us for tonight. We are going to do our sign-outs really quick, and I'm realizing now that after everything, I forgot to have everybody introduce themselves at the beginning. But
that's okay.
Fine.
Whoops.
It happens, and
yeah.
But Cassie, start us out. Where can everybody find you on the internet?
All right, I'm Artemis. I can be found here on Twitch at Artemis Harp, like the instrument. I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, and Saturdays typically. I don't have a stream tomorrow because I'm busy, but I stream board games with my friends on Mondays, RPGs on Tuesdays, and Dark Souls typically on Saturdays. So you can check me out there. I'm also on Twitter at ArtemisHP.
All right, Albin.
I am Magic. You can find me on Twitter at MagicZach20. That's ZACH. I do no streaming, but I work on Twitter, so look for the cool stuff that I like and share. Yeehaw, kiddos.
All
Oh,
right.
Magic is MAJIK.
MAJIK, yes, not like the magician type.
I feel like Magic needs to be spelled more than Zach does.
You know what? You'd be
The
surprised
best
how
part
many
is that
people
our
want
names
MAJIK.
are under, like, our Twitter handles are underneath us, y'all.
Oh, that's true.
The people who don't know how to read. I love you all.
And Callisto.
Hi, my name is Kat. I am at Vindifully on most things on the internet. I used to stream like over on my own Twitch channel at Vindifully on Mondays and Thursdays from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I have been slacking since the death of Twitch Sings, but I usually try to stream at least once a week on one of those two time slots. With like either music shenanigans or I've been getting really into Craftopia recently because my friends made me buy the game and it's not that bad to just run around and farm stuff. It's chill vibes. So I do that. I mean, I also have like a Twitter and a Facebook and an Instagram, but I don't actually use them because I don't.
Not everybody lives on the internet.
I don't.
Yeah.
I have a Discord which is linked in my Twitch, and I am way more active on that because it is much less effort. And I am like pain drunk right now.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It just means that I'm just like wee.
Yeah, you're loopy.
I think that's all the things.
Okay. And I am Nerdy Teddy, and you can find me on Twitter at Nerdy Teddy or in the Nerds with Dice Discord. And you can find me on this channel Tuesday nights. I play Peppermint in Rift's Ballad of Fates, and I run Beyond the Void on Thursday nights. Of course, this here on Fridays. And so I don't forget this time, Monday nights you can find me over on the Bardic Knock channel playing Yu-Gi-Oh! with some friends. And I also have an itch page, so you can check out the link in the chat, or if you go to my Twitter bio, it's there, and I have some games there that I have put up. And I think that is everything as well. We are going to raid Off the Table. Looks like they are playing Scum and Villainy.
Ooh.
So we
Shout out to Forged in the Dark.
Hey.
Yep.
Hey.
We will see you next week. Bye,
Hi.
everyone.
Take care,
Bye.
all.